It has been 7 years since we last got a Saw movie into theatres. Part 8 in the series is entitled Jigsaw, and it's kind of like a cold reboot sequel to the series that we had, a few years ago. It has been 10 years since Jigsaw had died in this. The world has kind of like moved on. Jigsaw himself has become a kind of cult figure for people in the underground and on the dark web who talk about his teachings, so to speak, and there seems to be a new game in play. It starts off with a man asking for a detective to join him as he takes people hostage, threatening 5 people who aren't actually there, and from there it just kind of snowballs into your almost typical Jigsaw storyline. For the third time in the series, the big thing about this is the mystery. Who is Jigsaw? Who's the new Jigsaw? How does this story relate to the previous series? And it is kind of shoehorned in, and in the same time causes some problems as well with the timeline because, well, for reasons I can't really tell you because it'd be spoiling the movie. It does have certain homages to other types of Saw movies. We have 5 people in a trap, which is synonymous with part 5 in the series. We have some rather gruesome deaths as these bodies are lying on autopsy slabs being dissected, and you see the gnarly remains of what has happened to these people. Again, you have a couple of mysteries in this. You have the mystery of the 5 people. Why are they all in these traps? What is it they have in common? Then you have the mystery of who is the Jigsaw killer. You have mysterious people in amongst the storyline as well. You go like, how does this person relate to another person? And it all interconnects in the strange way that the Saw movies rather do. They don't give you any hints as to how they could all connect, but at the end of it they make it as if they have given you hints, and they kind of shoehorn everything in together, and you're supposed to get that big aha moment that just doesn't really happen. The movie is directed by the Sprigg brothers, the guys that did Undead, they did Predestination and Daybreak. All fantastic movies as well, and it's nice to see them getting a bigger budget and being able to do something on the big screen. And they make this Jigsaw movie their own kind of thing. It doesn't really fit into the aesthetic of the rest of the Saw series. It's a little bit cleaner cut, it's a little bit brighter lit, it looks a little bit more, but it's got a little few bells and whistles that the other of the Saw series don't have. It's one of those movies that you know in your heart of hearts it's not great, but it's not bad either, and you say kind of it's not bad as if that's a good thing, but ultimately it's not as great as it could be, but it's nowhere near the sort of worst of the series. This kind of fits middle of the road and amongst the whole legacy of the Saw franchise. I liked it. I don't feel as if there was any really characters that stuck with me, anything that really jumped out that made you go, yeah, I really like that character. The traps are well thought out, they are interesting, they are different, they're something that we haven't really seen before, some of them anyway. And to put it all together in this movie, this new Jigsaw legacy, it gave me something that I wanted for a little while. The return of Jigsaw, the return of this series, and the way they keep fitting Toby and Bell into the actual storyline is quite novel, and it fits here yet again, but eventually they're going to have to move away from him and try to create a new-ish legacy. They're still trying to shoehorn it into the originals, which is fine, but it's going to have to evolve into its own thing eventually if there is more sequels to come, and I hope there will be, because I liked it enough that I would go and see more of this. It definitely takes away that taint that was left with part 7, which was by far the worst of the series. I like Jigsaw. I gave it 3 out of 5. It's not the best, but it's a good, fine form return by Jigsaw, the actual killer. It's nice to see him back in the big screen. It gave me that kind of kick, and yeah, it's good. Not great, but you know what? It's better than a lot of horror sequels that I've seen lately. Have you seen Jigsaw? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.